Hello everyone. We're going to talk about lipids today and the classes of lipids that occur in our body. We're going to talk about saturated fatty acid, unsaturated fatty acid, methyl, triacylglycerols. We're going to talk about steroids. We're going to talk about cholesterol, hormones, testosterone, and estrogen. So this is going to be a brief overview of these lipids. So let's talk about the basic structure of a phospholipid, which is our um, part of our cell membrane. So our cell membrane is made of this bilayer phospholipid. Why it's called phospholipid? Because this has this head and tail structure, and the head structure is hydrophilic, means it interact with water, and the tail structure is hydrophobic, that it means it does not interact with water. So this structure right here is our cell membrane is made of. So this one make sure it act as a barrier at the cell membrane and also protect the cell. So that's the function of lipid in the cell membrane. Now let's talk about saturated fatty acid. Um, Saturated fatty acids are long chain of alkanes. So it's a long chain of um, carbon hydrogen structure all over right here, and there is a deprotonated carboxyl group at the end. And when these fatty acids are tightly packed, they require heat to melt them. So their melting point is kind of high because they are very, very tightly packed. On the other hand, unsaturated fatty acids, they are loosely packed due to this double bonds. There could be one or more double bond in their structure, and due to this double bonds, they have more room between these molecules, and as a result, they can melt quickly because their melting point is lower than saturated fatty acid. So that's the difference between saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. Now let's talk about micelles. Micelles are fatty acids arranged in a circular fashion. So we did talk about the basic structure of of a phospholipid. So these are in a circular fashion, and their outer portion. This is outer portion, and it is hydrophilic, and this is the inner portion is hydrophobic. So I can give you example of a detergent. When you wash your clothes or hands, so what happens is that the dirt particles are stuck here in between, and these hydrophobic tails are attracted to those dirt particles, and these hydrophilic portion, which is outside right here, it interacts with the water. So when it interacts with the water outside, and when you wash your clothes, these micelles, they wash away these dirt particles along with it. And same concept goes with when you wash your hands or whatever, when we take shower and etc. So that's the function of micelles in when you talk about fatty acids, when you talk about lipids. So let's talk about triglycerols. And triglycerols are main component. They are the main component our body fat. So any body fat we will have on us would be the main component would be triglycerols, and they are made of three fatty acids. So these are three fatty acids, R1, R2, R3 chain right here. So these are three fatty acids, and they combine with the glycerol molecule right here, and a esterification occurs. What happened during the esterification is this H2O is taken out as a water, and then this triglyceride is formed. So that's just the chemistry behind it, and they are generally a main component are body fat. Now talk about steroids. All steroids has this tetracyclic ring structure. So there are one, two, three, four rings that are joined together, and that's the main component for all the steroids. Let's first talk about cholesterol. It is not water soluble, and then it can block the arteries. Since it's not soluble, it can just too much of cholesterol can just plugged into arteries and can cause heart attack. Let's talk about hormones now. Uh, for hormones, cholesterol that we just discussed is the base for all of these hormones. So when we talk about testosterone, which is the male hormone, so as you see, this is ring number 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is the structure of a testosterone. And estrogen, which is a female hormone, and another word for estrogen is estradiol, and it has also same basic structure, but arrangement of other molecules to the structures are slightly different than testosterone. So this was a brief discussion that we did today about the lipids and the classes of lipids, and the lipids bilayer. We talk about bilayer of lipids that constitute our cell membrane. We talk about saturated fatty acid, why we need extra energy to melt them. Unsaturated fatty acid, why we need less energy to melt them, because there's a kink in their structure and they have more room in between the molecules. We talk about micelles, how they form a circular formation, and detergent and soaps are based on these micelles and take away all these dirt particles. Triglycerols, we talk about that they are the main component are fat in the body, and how esterification occurs between three fatty acids and glycerol molecule to make a glycerol. Steroids, we talked about, generally they have a tetracyclic ring structure, and cholesterol is our type of a type of a steroid, and this is the basic structure of a cholesterol. And cholesterol is the base for other type of steroids such as hormones, and we talked about a hormone such as testosterone and estrogen. So that is basically it for the lipids, guys. Just a brief discussion before you go jump into a higher level of study. You can just memorize these type of classes of lipids for your future study. And that's it from me. You guys have a good day.